Developing this morning, CBS News has confirmed that Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, is under scrutiny in the FBI probe of Russian meddling in the 2016 election and whether there was collusion by the Trump campaign. And we begin with breaking news right now. Former Fox News president and CEO Roger Ailes has died. Ailes is most known for building Fox News into a cable television powerhouse. Recently, though, the company has been under fire for cases of sexual harassment charged by former employees. 23 million more Americans will become uninsured in the next 10 years under the American Health Care Act. That's the plan passed by House Republicans. The nonpartisan CBO says the replacement bill for Obamacare will reduce the deficit by $119 billion over the same time period. The CBO projects premiums for single policyholders under the plan passed by the House would increase before 2020 by an average of 20%. The White House is proposing to dramatically change how the federal government spends your money. A deadly home invasion had happened in the 2400 block of West Antoinette just before 10:30 last night. Getting our first look at the scene right now, a man called police saying he heard noises in his home, found his front window broken, and the suspect trying to get in. Our top story at noon, a tense morning for employees and travelers at Peoria International Airport. It has since reopened, but earlier it was a different story. Now, authorities say the woman is claiming that the package is a training device for abortion clinics. The sheriff's office is leading this investigation. We will have updates throughout the day. And today is one of the busiest travel days of the year. And if we're starting out early, how's it looking out there? 9 tornadoes reportedly touched down in LaSalle and Bureau counties, and 5 tornado reports in the Livingston County are responsible for severely damaging buildings and injuring 4 people in Pontiac. Severe weather causing damage to this Shell gas station and other buildings around the area. 7 people are recovering after the EF2 tornado blew through Pontiac. That's according to OSF Medical Center. The heaviest damage along Route 116 near I-55. We know of several businesses, homes, and a mobile home park were hit pretty hard. WMBD has had team coverage around the clock since Wednesday and continued to follow the aftermath of the storm. This morning, Alyssa Paldo is in Pontiac as we wait for Governor Bruce Rauner to visit the town and assess the damage there. 2 tornadoes touching down here in central Illinois, destroying neighborhoods and bringing down power lines. This map shows the location of both of them. Well, the first happened in Cameron at 7:30, now to Delavan. That hit shortly before midnight. Truly remarkable what some of those people were saying there. One woman described it as like a NASCAR track with the wind whirling around. Rachel, what's the latest on the situation last night? We're taking a look outside on the roadways this morning in the mobile storm tracker. WMBD's Alyssa Paldo following some reports of some flooding in the Farmington area. We're going to keep you updated on the latest weather forecast and possibly bring you to a live location coming up in just a bit. Well, let's check in now with meteorologist Lauren Rainson, who's been tracking these storms that are kind of leaving the area, but more is to come. Isn't that right, Lauren? We're here on Allen Road, and Lauren's been mentioning it all morning. Luckily, the freezing mist is kind of gone in this area, but I'll tell you what, that wind is still putting a bite to the air, and it's been affecting these crews that have been on Allen Road all night and into the morning. As you can see, they are stabilizing power poles that are leaning against power lines. Good morning, Lindsay. Yes, we're still on the back alley here with entrance from Westmoreland. Of course, we're behind some homes on Wiswall in the 2300 blocks too. And it's still a very active scene. Take a quick walk with me here. If you could see Peoria police cruisers, 2 of them still kind of fencing off this alley, blocking it so people don't come by. We've already tried to see a couple people try to get through. A couple neighbors are very curious as well. And now, since it's daylight, we're learning some new information about the actual crime scene. As you can see, the FAR police cruiser, the crime scene and the tape actually goes towards the left a little bit into a yard, kind of protruding into another yard. That's something that we did not see earlier this morning. Let's take a look at that scene from earlier this morning, where it was a very dark crime scene. Police had to bring in extra lights and their flashlights to look for evidence. Now, a detective at the scene tells me that 1 person was shot. That person was transported to the hospital. I just got off the phone with a Peoria desk sergeant, where they have no update for us this morning about the current condition of that victim. Now, we talked to another sergeant who said this morning that this was the worst scene out of the 3 shootings in Peoria overnight. Another neighbor we spoke with had no idea that this even happened last night. I'm very curious why police are all over the street. We will be continuing to update you on all the latest developments. The shopping patterns of Bloomington and Normal consumers are changing, but will the Eastland Mall be able to bring back foot traffic and sales to the property? Topping your news this half hour, today marks the 31st anniversary of the federal holiday honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Preparing for the State of the State, we are standing by to hear Governor Rauner's address. We will take you there live on WMD News at noon. And we are listening to Governor Bruce Rauner's third State of the State address happening right now live in Springfield. He also is talking about more goals, making Illinois ethical and efficient, investing in education, and making our state more competitive for the future job market. Yeah, Lindsay, a tremendous blow to the Central Illinois community. I'm sure hundreds of Caterpillar employees that are about to leave the headquarters this morning for lunch are talking about this news too. Caterpillar is saying conditions have really not been so good this year, but not only this year, for the last 5 years, since 1967, Lindsay, this location right behind this bus that is passing us has been the headquarters of Caterpillar worldwide. New at noon, the World Series trophy is making stops in Central Illinois. The Chicago Cubs trophy will be on tour at Illinois Wesleyan University and Illinois State University on January 18th. I'll take a look at this. A stunning sunrise this morning in Chicago. This is the view from WBBM's helicopter just before 7 o'clock. The clouds were illuminated in a fiery orange, and you can see the yellow from the sun grow as it begins to peek through some of those clouds. We have a lot to talk about, Senator. Let's start off with the budget impasse in Springfield. Obviously, a lot of tension is building, and we are particularly concerned about school funding. Why is there urgency to get a budget bill passed for school funding?
Obviously, school is the most important thing people are talking about. There's really two urgent issues.
He's a newly crowned celebrity apprentice and the host of American Ninja Warrior. Matt Eisman joins us this morning for Friday Morning Live, and we are so excited to have you this morning.
I'm thrilled to be in here. I walked in and people were like, I got questions for you, and I got questions for you. I'm ready.
So
I feel like I'm in front of a White House testimony. Yeah, I'm testifying here.
Yeah, this is your hearing, by the way.
I do not recall.
I can't say that in open session. We heard that so many times.
Oh my God, it's awful.
Wildlife Prairie Park is celebrating 2 holidays in February with a couple events. Here to tell us more about it is Callie Smith and a snake. Who is this?
This is Roberto, and he's a Great Plains rat snake, so non-venomous. Everyone's okay.
For your sake, I'm glad he's not venomous right now. I'm okay. You're in the danger zone right now. The Eastland Mall in Bloomington is falling victim to similar traps across the country. Main anchor stores are closing up shop and retail spaces sit empty. But is there still hope for one of our malls? I spoke with one owner and elected officials to find out. An anchor store sitting untouched and unused. Another already liquidating its merchandise, preparing to close. It's the latest trend in the retail industry, the brick and mortar stores reducing to rubble. Now malls across the United States, including Eastland Mall in Bloomington, are looking to reinvent themselves.
Yes, there will still be retail, but they will be looking to bring more entertainment venues. They'll be looking to bring more eating establishments, and the mall is perfectly positioned.
Positioned at one of the most critical corners, a focal point of the Twin Cities. Traffic surrounds the mall, but the traffic inside is dying down. But the owner of the outdoor store Wild Country, who has been at this location for 7 years and in business for 40, says the mall is going to make a comeback and be stronger than ever.
I believe this is a great place to be. I tell you, it's like the Phoenix bird. Every time it flew into the fire, it emerged stronger. I think we're going to emerge stronger this fall.
And the property's owner, CBL, agrees. A representative for the company says, quote, "We are incredibly excited and optimistic about the future of Eastland Mall. The closures of both Macy's and JCPenney present us with an unparalleled opportunity to take underperforming space and convert it into fresh new retail, driving traffic, sales, growth into the entire property. In anticipation of these closures, we've proactively engaged in conversations with a number of retailers and other users." The shopping patterns of Bloomington and Normal consumers are changing, but will the Eastland Mall be able to bring back foot traffic and sales to the property?
We've seen some of these older malls reposition themselves to be a major employment center for people that we desperately need to bring to the Twin Cities areas that will bring the dollars to shop.
You will see those retail centers that have more of an experiential component will be the ones that probably will grow and prosper.
CBL counts on its long track record of repositioning anchor stores, saying in part, quote, "Over the last 3 years, we have taken anchor locations and turned them into retail, dining, and entertainment destinations that have completely changed the dynamic of the property." CBL also says it's too early to inform the public about some of the entertainment prospects and stores it's recruiting, But Bloomington City Manager David Hales says negotiations have been aggressive. And for one tenant at Eastland Mall,
I just think that they've got some plans and they're going to work it out and make it bigger and better than ever. I mean, we're still a viable community in here, and it just has to get the right model.
Hales also mentioned that the city and elected officials are looking to create a possible TIF district for the mall and surrounding area as incentive to retailers. There's no word on the next time CBL and Bloomington officials will meet, but we are told it will be in the coming months. Moving a West Bloomington neighborhood forward is the purpose behind a revitalization project. One recent graduate in the Twin Cities is doing her part to enhance the area, standing up so others can sit back. Meet this week's CI hero. It has been an ongoing issue. People are speaking out on Connect Transit's new fixed bus route plans. One concern, there was nowhere for riders to sit.
Somebody said that one of the residents had fallen and that there is a need for this seating.
Julie Lewis, a recent graduate of Illinois Wesleyan University, noticed people waiting for the bus are standing in grass and in some areas mud. Her solution, building benches. How do you figure out what kind of model bench to build?
A lot of Googling.
But Lewis did not have tools or a workshop, so she approached the tool library in Bloomington.
The first thing that we always think of is, how can we make this happen?
The staff of the tool library helped cut the wood. Lewis then finished the bench at home after checking out a power drill and clamps. This is the second bench. The first one is still in her living room.
We took a picture and posted it on Facebook, and we had a huge amount of feedback from the community saying, how can I get involved? I want to help build. And it kind of snowballed from there. With the help of sponsors and grant money, volunteers are building together during a bench blitz, spending a weekend day to provide a place to sit for all of West Bloomington. And from one bench in a living room to 20 constructed in one day, Julie Lewis is making her mark, her benchmark in the West Bloomington Revitalization Project. Did you ever think that you'd be making more than one bench?
No, I didn't. Somehow I started just to become this person who builds benches. I think I'm just going to be really grateful for this experience. And everyone has worked together and be really proud of the community that we've formed to make something happen.
Now Connect Transit got on board too and is insuring the benches and is pouring concrete slabs for installation. The tool library will also be hosting a bed blitz in mid-September to provide a bed for McLean County children who do not have their own.
How awesome is this? I mean, a library where you can go and check out any tool you'd like, free of charge, and then using that to then help others. It's what a great story.
So in this case, this one is only for McLean County residents, but if you're a Peoria resident, there is one coming soon through Habitat for Humanity called the Don Baker Tool Library here for the Peoria area. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome, you won't have to drive so far anymore.
I know, it sounds cool. And new this morning, in the midst of cold and flu season, you never know if or when you will get sick. A new program is designed to help you get the care that you need at your own convenience. Many times you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home.
So happy and so
Tracy Andraki is a working mother of two children, a 2.5-year-old daughter and an almost 9-month-old son. Her husband is a teacher and basketball coach. They live in Bloomington.
This summer I was breastfeeding my son. He was 4 or 5 months at the time, and I started to feel really sick.
Their busy schedules didn't account for a complication during breastfeeding. And after consulting with her obstetrician after work, Tracy was stuck in a predicament.
The only option that I had was to go to the emergency room, and so that's where I was headed. And then she called me back and said, no, wait, I forgot. You don't have to go to the emergency room. I'm going to connect you to OSF On Call.
OSF On Call started back in June. Since then, hundreds of patients like Tracy Andraki have taken advantage of the telehealth service.
Because you have patients that have small children, you have patients that may be older or maybe not as mobile as other patients, and so this really provides them a way to see a professional in a quick time period and get their issue taken care of.
Dr. Lau practices family medicine at OSF St. James in Pontiac. He recommends the service to patients who are new to the area and haven't established a primary care doctor, patients that don't feel like leaving their beds, and people who are sick on the weekends outside of normal business hours.
Now, typically, how long do you think each visit is?
Yeah, so it takes about, average wait times in the 5 months we've been doing it is probably 10 or 15 minutes. Average time for our entire visit's about 20 minutes.
And I was literally sitting on my bed the whole time, so easy, never had to leave my house, And then she called in the prescription.
2/3 of all Americans have a smartphone. And so they're used to using a smartphone, and a lot of them already do use FaceTime or Skype with their, with their loved ones that may be in a different state. So it's really just as simple as that. So it's technology that they're used to using for social aspects, but we're utilizing it for healthcare.
We've ended up finding that probably about 70% of patients were able to help online without other care.
And the cost to sign up is $35 with a credit card, and Draki has used it twice.
$35 is about the same as what my copay is for a doctor visit, but it's significantly less than going to the emergency room in the middle of the night.
Now, OSF On-Call can be accessed from any patient here in the state of Illinois. All you have to do is visit osfoncall.org to get started, and you are just a few clicks away from being seen by a doctor. Just a reminder, you can only pay by credit card, and government insurance is not accepted. For a list of what can be treated online or by the phone, visit our website, ciproud.com.